if the Nuggets, you can't overlook them. If the Nuggets go get a title this year, dynasty, it'll be there. Wembanyama has a little injury issue. Last night he had a rib contusion. 3 games left for them for the season. He didn't get 65 games. I know he wanted that MVP. They look good. They got Castle. They got De'Aaron Fox. The Spurs might be building a whole nother dynasty. How much should regular season performance matter compared to playoff success? Everything. It's the second season. They're 2 totally different things. Now, you could be a prick and be like, yo, when it comes to regular season, who's the greatest of all time? Regular season. That will have more names. Rings, championships, that's something different. And I think when you make that conversation, you got to talk about the differences between the two. 2 separate seasons.
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready?
Nope.
For a long journey where our podcast released a new app and searching for a fade fiend. New fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones. They gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, text some friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talking wisdom I know.
Welcome in, everyone. Handshake and then handshake again? That's what we're doing. But listen, pregame handshakes, I got it. Another handshake that's mandatory. I think we're getting into some old school. You guys know what I'm talking about. The little dust up between Gino and Dawn Staley. Gino, it was a bad look. It was a horrible apology. When he said, I know people on that other staff, and I apologize to them. Come on, you got to say Dawn Staley's name. You brought the smoke directly to Dawn Staley's chest. You didn't bring it to them. So why are you apologizing to them? Because you showed out and you only care about them. Yeah, this is going to be contentious for a few years to go. It just wasn't a good look. If you want to be the face of college basketball, you got to do better. And I just think that he got let off the hook. I believe it took a lot of the air out of the sails for South Carolina after their win. I'm not saying that's the reason why they came out flat. UCLA in that game, they just looked so much more experienced. I said to my wife, I thought that was a WNBA team that was playing the entire game. So, kudos to them. But Gino, you got some things to fix, brother. Quick. That was not a good look. While we're on men's college, on college basketball, let's get to men's. Duke completely collapsed after leading by 19 against UConn, unraveling in the final seconds with poor decisions that led to a game-winning deep shot by the Huskies. Meanwhile, UConn's veteran culture and continuity once again proved the difference in a stunning comeback. Does this loss expose a deeper issue with Duke's one-on-one, one-and-done model compared to UConn's culture of player development and continuity? I think that it really does. If you look back at that team and how they played, here making it to the national championship, I mean, they lost by 6, but I really think there's something to be said about continuity. Like, I'm not here to talk about NIL and the amount of times that a person will transfer in or transfer out. That's a whole nother discussion. But the longer you're together, the more comfortable you feel. You've been through the fire, and that showed. Duke has a lot to do going forward. And maybe that's what Mike Krzyzewski knew. And another one of the reasons why he tapped out, because he's always done it the old school way, where you're at least going to have him freshman, sophomore year, and then we'll see what happens going into that sophomore, junior, but you get to build your stock. Now, you're bringing in more talent nowadays with this NIL. I mean, UNC just hired Mike Malone, that won the title with the Nuggets. That tells you where we are with college basketball, and it's going to be time for everyone to change. You're going to need CEOs. You're going to need general managers. You're going to need people that can manage those rosters, get that talent on your team. And then you got to manage that team. You got to manage expectations. You got to manage NIL, or shall I say payroll. Those are the things that it's going to take from here going forward. Let's shift to the NBA. Is LeBron James still the face of the NBA, or has the league already moved on? I think they have. He's a great story, and I think we're going to get him for another year. I think he's going to wait to see Bryce come out of Arizona, see if the Lakers or somebody is going to pick him up. But we're going to have LeBron. That's the steady state. But the highlights, that's Anthony Edwards. The highlights, that's Wembanyama. The highlights, that's Tatum coming back and Jaylen Brown. I think we are in a different place. We like the Nuggets. We like Jokic. We like Maple Jordan on his team. That's the face of the NBA. We are past it. I know I'm in New York, but Jalen Brunson is doing his thing. Every day Dallas realizes how much they lost by letting that guy go. And the Knicks fans are just so happy to have that floor general. So I think the league is in a good place. I was able to talk about all those teams. We didn't even get to the 76ers, and they still got the process. They still got Embiid. They got Edgecombe, he's a phenomenal talent. This is going to be some great years watching him. And Tyrese Maxey, the Texas kid that goes to Philly and finds a new home. He's still going to be repping Cowboys, but when the Cowboys are not playing the Eagles, he can fly. And you got to do what you got to do, especially for your fan base. I think we're in a good place. Are we witnessing the start of a new dynasty or just another short-term contender? Oklahoma City, I believe, is the new dynasty. We'll see how this year turns out. But for what they have put up already this season, y'all want it? Y'all got to come take it from Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is stacked. One title does not a dynasty make. We know that, people. But we talking about the present. We talking about where we are at right now. And they look good. Don't get me, if you're a Bulls fan, don't talk to me about those days and that dynasty. Some of y'all wasn't even alive when that joint happened. We talking about now. When we do a little throwback show, we can talk about the Bulls in there. We talking about now. And if I'm also thinking if the Nuggets, you can't overlook them. If the Nuggets go get a title this year, dynasty, it'll be there. Wembanyama has a little injury issue. Last night had a rib contusion. 3 games left for them for the season. He didn't get 65 games. I know he wanted that MVP. They look good. They got Castle. They got De'Aaron Fox. The Spurs might be building a whole nother dynasty. How much should regular season performance matter compared to playoff success? Everything. It's the second season. They're 2 totally different things. Now, you could be a prick and be like, yo, when it comes to regular season, who's the greatest of all time? Regular season. That will have more names. Rings, championships, that's something different. And I think when you make that conversation, you got to talk about the differences between the two. 2 separate seasons, 2 separate conversations. One person does not a team make. You're not not the general manager. You're not running that front office. I just said Mike Malone coming into UNC, right? So how would you think that it's on one player to go 1 versus 5? You can't do it. Wembanyama, we just said, is an alien, but he can't do it by himself. He got Stephon. We just named what they got, and they got complementary players around. You need other people to help you. So individually, yeah, you can go out there and ball out all day for what you do, but you need other people to help you to get that playoff success when teams can focus in on you. Is load management hurting the NBA's long-term popularity? Yes. They got to get out there and play. You can't tell those of us who work a 9 to 5, whether we working from home or we got to commute, whatever we got to do to make our ends, we don't get to say, man, I ain't feeling it. had a rough night. We just got back from spring break. We don't get to say that. We got to jump in. Families. I will always go with a family that drives 2 hours from upstate New York down to Brooklyn to watch the Brooklyn Nets play because somebody comes to town. When they built the Barclays Center, you know they ain't built no parking, right? So now that family's got to do whatever they got to do to drop off their whip and then make it to the game. That's the kind of stuff that really matters. And then they walk in, and we in upstate New York. We in New York, so the weather's not the greatest. So from wherever they parked, the walk to the stadium, standing in lines in the stadium before they can even get inside, just to get inside and find out one of your favorite players isn't playing, but is very demonstrative on the sidelines in street clothes, jumping and hooting and hollering. Man, if you hurt, you hurt. If you sick, you sick. Sit down, doc. Because what all you doing is you just reminding us that you didn't want to suit up and you want to play today. Tough it out. 82 games. Y'all could talk about this in collective bargaining. Y'all can do whatever y'all can do, but you got a job. You're supposed to show up 82 games. Who benefits more from today's game, scorers or all-around players? All-around players. I want to say we're even at positionless basketball when someone like Wembanyama can bring the ball up the court. I know Houston tries to get Kevin Durant to do that, but when teams focus in on that, we realize Kevin ain't a point guard. He doesn't run 1 through 5. There's a difference. But when you're an all-around player, you stay on the court. We always say 3 and D. You got to be able to play D. You got to turn in some offense. You can score all you want. We're about to find that out about Cleveland. Cleveland can put points up on anybody. They also give up a lot of points. And so we're going to need to see what that defense is going to look like with them, see how long they can go in the postseason. Y'all want to talk some NFL? I mean, we said 1 or 2 things here and there, but is the current QB generation the most talented we've ever seen? Yes. These dudes are slinging it. Now, we said talented, not gifted. We'll always go down with maybe Dan Marino being the most gifted quarterback of all time. But these boys got talent. Growing up playing flag football, getting a lot of reps. So you're not getting a lot of concussions from playing in actual tackle football. I think that's what happens. We've got specialists. You can go get your own quarterback coach nowadays. You got YouTube. You got YouTube videos. So you could search for drills to do as a quarterback. You could search for drills to do on your own if your mama can't afford one of those quarterback coaches and still be increasing your game and getting better. So yeah, they talented. And that's good for us. That's good for the game. Are rule changes making the NFL safer or softer? They're making it safer, and that's a good thing. We just talked about talented quarterbacks. If we don't see Lamar Jackson play 16 games, we've been robbed. Is it getting closer to flag football? Maybe. But I can't be seeing compound fractures. I can't be seeing bones sticking out. That ain't going to do nothing for us. I think with the big bodies, I think with the way people are built nowadays, as opposed to back in the day, the year-round training, the drills I've talked about to make us better players, I'm okay with it because I want a good product on the field. The Commanders didn't have their quarterback last year. The quarterback for the Giants, he got hurt. I mean, you need Jackson Dart on that field. You're trying to figure out what he has. And these guys being out, it hurts. That's another reason why the Miami Dolphins sent Tua packing, because they realized, we need a healthy dude. And that goes with everybody, every position. How much control should star players have over team decisions? Absolutely nothing, because that's not their job. There's a general manager. There's a CEO. There's people that the general manager confers with other general managers, their network. Star players, shut up and dribble. I'm telling you, is it in their contract? No. Is it cool to ask them their opinion? Yes, but that ain't control. An opinion and control, two different things. The question was how much control. So they're not going to have a lot of control. What makes them able to do that? Have they ever put a team together? No. If they make a mistake, they getting all the blame and the general manager skates? No, we're not doing that. Other people are getting fired. Coaches are getting fired. If that player isn't getting fired, if we're not taking money from that player. So if you want to do that, you want to give a player control, build that into their contract. That if they have a losing season, that person gets money taken away from them. Then they'll make good decisions, not emotional decisions. Is parity in the NFL real or just an illusion year to year? I think it's real just because of injuries and the opportunities that others have. Seeing what Sam Darnold did going from Carolina, his time in San Francisco, Minnesota, and then what he did with Seattle, I mean, that just tells you that when people have opportunity to change teams, opportunity to move, it's to their benefit. It's to our benefit. Sometimes you need a change of scenery. You need a new place. Sometimes you realize that your general manager wasn't as good as your old general manager, or the new general manager is way better. So let's get to the next one. Let me get to the next team. That's general manager. My time is done here. What defines a successful season for a franchise today? Successful season is being sold out. That means you got a good product. Your fan base is excited. That's a successful season. Everybody can't win a championship. I'm not going to say a successful season is winning championship. Successful season is getting cheeks in the seats. You got to get people the opportunity to come out to your games. And if they're coming out to your games and they're enjoying your product, you making money. You're selling jerseys. You're getting sponsors, marketing. That's a successful season. Bottom line. The owner knows it. Jerry Jones knows it. When's the last time he won a chip? But that money coming in, them jerseys are selling. Everybody's tuning in because we're excited about not only what they put on the field, but we're excited about Jerry. We're excited about the moves they make. So that's a successful season. And Jerry knows that. And them Cowboys fans know it. They're not happy about it, but they know. Talk a little Major League Baseball. Are rule changes improving the game or taking away its identity? Rule changes are improving it. This has been exciting so far, what we've seen in baseball. I think they've done a really good job. When you think about what you're seeing as the product, we have a new dynasty, don't we, in the Dodgers? I know some people may not want to hear that. But if we got a dynasty, that's good. That's what it takes. Big payroll, the ability for people to switch teams. We're going to find out about this robo umpiring. But you got to get the call right at the end of the day. It's hard to argue with that. Roll that footage, check that strike zone. Let's play ball. Should small market teams be given more financial support to compete? No. You want to be in that city. What are we talking about? We're going to give you money to stay in a small market. You could be selling all your jerseys. You could be selling out your stadium. You could have great marketing deals. What are you doing with that money? There's always going to be the haves and the have-nots. No, we can't make excuses because I'm in a small city. Bruh, if you can't hang with the big dogs, get off the porch. You can take your franchise and you can go to another big city. Oh, you want to stay and fight? You want to be David versus Goliath? Then do it. Don't make excuses. Is analytics helping or hurting player development? Analytics is helping. You need something tangible. You need those facts. You need experiences, not one item, and we can't do nothing about your gut. When that press conference is going on after the fact, you want to sit there and say, listen, I do great against right-handed pitchers. I've been shooting 50% from three. So at the end of the game, I decided to shoot the three to win the game. Analytics. Not, I just wanted the heat check. So I thought at the end of the game, I thought I was hot. Let me go ahead and hoist it up instead of hitting the open man. What would you say? What matters more today, power hitting or pitching depth? Power hitting. I like power hitting. Chicks dig the long ball, right? We like them home runs because that power hitting gives us an opportunity for sacrifice flies. It gives us an opportunity for highlight plays. Do you want to see somebody climb that wall and take away a home run? Yes. You want to see fireworks. You want to see offense. The pitching depth. I don't hear a lot of people saying, oh, that 1-0 or 2-1 game was exciting. But a 10-8 game, more people will enjoy that. So I'm about that offense. They get paid to stop it. They can't stop it. Keep putting them runs up. Is baseball struggling to connect with younger audiences? I'm going to wait and see. I think they turned the corner with the robo-ump, with the bigger bases. I think that we're getting some changes that will bring the younger audience in. You're not off the hook yet, though, baseball. You've got to do more. You've got to reach out. You're going to have to start getting some TikTok, some social media. You're going to have to do a lot more things to bring a younger vibe in. I got it. There's an older generation that loves the game. They're the diehards. They're the true bloods, right? Well, they ain't going nowhere. They are not going to go anywhere. They will still tune in. But you need that new money. You need those new seats. You need the young cats that will show up in bad weather to watch the game. Not saying, yo, the arthritis is messing up today. I can't make it today. I ain't sitting outside today. See, that's the old heads right there. Y'all want to talk some soccer? Global sports. Shout out to those countries that rock with me. I'm doing good in the UK. I appreciate the love I get over in India, and football is big for you guys. We call it soccer here. Is international competition losing prestige compared to club success? Yes, it is. I'm going to tell you, the whole world is watching Inter Miami. We want to see Messi. Don't let Ronaldo get to America. If he gets to the MLS, it's gonna be crazy. I don't live in other countries, but I know for us here in America, we are tuning in. We like that David Beckham came over here. We like that he's got Inter Miami booming. They just got a brand new stadium. That's good money. $1 billion plus soccer football stadium. We don't do that in America. But that opening night down in Miami, it was packed. We're excited. How much does money truly dictate success in global soccer? I'm going to say 70-30. With the money, you can attract other players. When you attract other players, you could sell the jersey. As I said before, you could pack the cheeks and seats. That's success. Everyone doesn't win the championship, but we like good games. When we get stoppage time, we're on the edge of our seats wondering, can we get the equalizer? Can we get a goal to win the game? It's huge for us. As fans, we are really looking forward to a good product. And I think 70-30 is going to be my final answer. with the good product over the finances. Are super teams good or bad for the sport overall? Super teams are good for soccer, football. There's always going to be a renewed attention. We want to know if those personalities can get along. I mean, it's a case study. It's a test. So prove it to us because we want to know. Is the sport growing fast enough in the U.S. to compete with football and basketball? Thanks to the MLS, thanks to these few years with Messi being here. Austin, Texas, I used to live there. They got a team, and try to drive past that stadium if you want when a game is about to start, and you'll see the success. It's there, and we're interested. You want to talk a little college sports? We started the show with that. Let's get back to it because we're in the NIL era. Has NIL improved opportunities or created chaos in college athletics? Chaos. The Big Ten just won football. The Big Ten just won basketball. I mean, what do you want? The Big Ten has been bleeding to the SEC and the women's basketball championship. Big Ten, UCLA. If you're an old head, I got it, but get over that. They're in the Big Ten. Yeah, everybody has an opportunity. Florida did not go back-to-back with national championships, and I think we're okay with that. Aside from the Gator fans, not many of us were complaining when they went down, and we still tuned in. We just want to see who was going to win it. UConn, yeah, it would have been nice for a back-to-back in women's, but seeing you go down to South Carolina and UCLA and their professional basketball team get that win, yeah, we're okay with that. Chaos. Should college athletes be considered employees? Yeah. Help them students out. We're talking do everything you can for them, just like employee. That'll help with retention in real life. You treat your employees good, they stay around. They show up. They're more productive. When the transfer portal opens, it's not, hey, I'm out. So do some exit interviews, like show you care. So they're not just chasing the money, they're chasing a destination. That's what you got to do. There's a reason those UCLA ladies hung around, that they had seniors on that team. Let's find out what UCLA was doing and how they were treating them. Is tradition in college sports being lost in the modern era? Well, what tradition are you talking about? The tradition of winning, the tradition of a great program, that's always been there. You need a good program. You need good coaches at all levels, strength and conditioning. You need good chefs. That's what it takes. No, it's not being lost in the modern era. I'm sure the ratings were great. I haven't seen the ratings from the men's championship, but I know if HBO Max is going to get it, that you could watch it there, I'd say it's doing pretty good. Are powerhouse programs becoming too dominant? No. You think Indiana University is going to go back-to-back? They not. Do you think Michigan is going to go back-to-back? Probably not. Their point guard is a junior. He dropped 19 points in the championship game. NBA is going to come calling. He had 2 assists. There's a 7'3" player from Spain on their team. You don't think the NBA wants a 7'3" player? Yeah. And Lindenberger, for instance, Lindenberg, he was a grad student. So he hung around as long as he could. He got that championship. Everyone isn't going to have that opportunity. So the powerhouse programs, they're not becoming too dominant. What role should conferences play in regulating fairness? I believe that there's going to be a big role. When you look at the different conferences, can you say that the SEC, can you say that the ACC is going to dominate? You cannot. Because the SEC didn't even make the basketball championship. So those days are done. I think we're in a new era, and we're going to see how the chips may fall. I don't think that the conferences matter. I think the players, the coaches, is what's going to take. Is sports media shaping narratives more than the games themselves? Yes. It's the click culture. It's the watch me culture. You're watching me. That's what it is. What happens with the players is indicative of how they were raised. They know that their name is going to be out there. They know that their family and people are going to be watching. They know it's going to be clicks. They know, they see the clips. So yeah, it matters. Do athletes have too much or too little control over their public image? I think they have a good amount of control. You should be professional at all times. That's with anything. That's your money. Don't fumble the bag. You want to do something stupid? Okay. Stupid is, stupid does. A fool and his money are soon parted. That will always be the narrative. Be professional. Learn professionalism. People are out there. Spending time in a club. You spending time in a strip club. You spending time doing whatever extracurricular you are. You could spend some time learning professionalism, learning the ins and outs of your brand. All right, I want to get to something else. The Chicago Sky traded two-time WNBA All-Star Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream for 2 first-round picks after a strained relationship following Reese's public criticism of the team's roster. Reese, the only player in WNBA history to average at least 12 rebounds per game in a season. She'll now team up with the MVP candidate Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard on a dream team that went 30-14 last season. Yo, come up. That girl said she want to be around good players, but she got it. So the question is, do you think Angel Reese's public comments about needing better teammates were justified given the Sky's 1-13 record without her? Or did she cross a line by publicly pressuring management? And how should star players balance loyalty with their competitive ambitions? Nah, she shouldn't have said that. You can't besmirch your teammates. I don't care how good you are. Don't do that. Especially when she came back and apologized, then she know you're wrong. That's the answer. If she apologized, she either knows she wrong or she didn't like the fallout. And if you can't say it and stand by it, then you're wrong. If you ain't got the backbone for it, you're wrong. I can guarantee you she's opinionated. She was Chi-Town Barbie. We'll see if she's going to be the Peach State Barbie, whatever she's going to be in Atlanta. She won't want nobody saying something about her. We see your braggadocious. We see your swagger. You would not want it, but you did it. That's bullying right there. Also, would you say it to their face? Nobody on that team would be interested in throwing hands. Now that you're gone, would they be interested in throwing hands? That's what it always comes back to. We can't hide behind microphones, Twitter fingers. We can't do that. That's the reality. Lamar Jackson reported for the start of the Ravens offseason program, getting an early jump with new head coach Jesse Minter, despite past years of skipping most voluntary workouts. His participation comes after an up and down season and raises questions about how this fresh start might shape Baltimore's offense moving forward. How much do you think Lamar's decision to show up early actually signals a shift in his approach? And what impact could that have on the Ravens' trajectory this season? It's everything. Sometimes you got to give some to get some. Coach wants you there, you got to show up for coach. Especially because everybody doesn't have what you have. You the big dog, El Jefe. You could say, I ain't showing up. But the rest of us, man, we got to hustle for coach. So if you out here with us, we appreciate you. Rick Ross said you wasn't with me shooting in the gym. Well, you are now. So Lamar, we appreciate you, bro. Thanks for showing up. Let's see how that turns out. Cooper Flagg has surged to the top of the Rookie of the Year race after a historic 2-game stretch in which he scored almost 196 points, becoming the first rookie since Walt Bellamy to post back-to-back 45-point games. His explosive rise has flipped the odds in his favor and placed him in statistical company with legends like Chamberlain, Jordan, and Alcindor. What do you think Flag's sudden leap into historic territory tells us about his long-term ceiling, and how should we weigh individual brilliance against team struggles when evaluating a rookie's impact? He's the real deal. He came from Maine. Ain't nobody getting no talent from Maine. So he didn't grow up, I would say, distracted. Growing up in Maine, he's about that business. I'm going to tell you, these kids that grew up off the grid, a kid that went to Indiana State Sycamores, Larry Bird heard of him. And I'm not just saying it from that, but I'm just saying there are comparisons. This dude is a rim rocker, though. Flag is he's going to be long-term the one. That team cannot be judged because Anthony Davis was not healthy. We know that the Lakers fleeced Dallas, but give them some time. Let's see what happens this year with some draft picks. Let's get that man a team. He's a rookie. What do we expect? You know, we talking Wembanyama. Did Wembanyama wow us his first year? Yeah. And we gave him a couple years. Look at him now. Takes time, Flag. Dexter Lawrence II has requested a trade from the Giants and will skip the start of offseason workouts after 2 years of stalled contract negotiations. Despite being one of the team's cornerstone players, the lack of progress on a new deal leaves John Harbaugh opening his first offseason program without his star defensive tackle. How should the Giants balance Lawrence's value and leadership against the long-term cap implications of giving him a new deal? And what does this trade request signal about the direction of the franchise? The direction, I would say, is not starting off good. Y'all had to sign him. 2 years? What does that say to everybody else? It's the culture. Giants, change your culture. You brought a new coach. Now, if this new coach said, nah, I'm good. Okay. So we're going to say he's long in the tooth. We're going to go to the draft and pull somebody else. All right. Let that man go. We'll see what happens when he gets to a new team. There's a lot to be said about the Giants, but I'm in a wait and see. Let's see with Harbaugh if this takes the entire organization to a new place. What he does with his team on the field could spark better front office items. They're related, but I think one could push the other one forward. Thanks for everyone tuning in. Thanks for talking with Donato. Like, subscribe. I want to see your items that you want us to talk about. Put in the comments.